All right, so I haven't been able to make it to the studio, so I'm at my other studio, my other little spot. So I got to talk about. So the bill passed. Unfortunately, they passed the bill. They passed this big whatever beautiful bill, trash bill, however you want to call it. I've been arguing, not arguing. I've been going back and forth. People want to argue with me online in my comments who said I haven't read the bill and how great it is for the American people. But I feel like it's just at this point, whether you read the whole bill or not, you don't have to read the whole bill. You know enough to know that it's no good. I think that the trust and the way people see Donald Trump at this point, and it's just people who worship him is a cult mentality. And because it's like a cult, everybody who worships him, we're gonna say worship him, not support him, worship him. Anything he do is great. It's nothing that you can do to convince these people that it's not. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy going back and forth with them. I mean, you can say your opinions, but just believe me, at the end of the day, they're not going to change your mind. So that passed. They were cheering about taking away people's health care, taking away people's food benefits, taking away free lunch from kids in school. They did all of this to save the billionaires more money. The millionaires and billionaires, the top 1% richest corporations in this country, was willing to take food out of kids' mouths to save money on taxes. And the issue is they already don't pay taxes. They don't pay taxes. They find every loophole. They hide money. They got money in crypto now, which is money laundering. They money laundering their money in crypto. They hide money. They got offshore accounts. They got workers in other countries that they're underpaying. They're taking all the way jobs away from America. He was talking about America first was his whole agenda. But in reality, all that's happening is these rich people, the reason why they're complaining is because they don't want to pay nothing. They don't want to pay nothing. And they already don't pay nothing. So I'm just trying to figure out how the math works. But the real math is that we talking a 2.6% increase is what they did all of this for, to save the top people 2.6% less taxes. So take away from Medicaid, take away from Social Security, take away from Medicare, take away from SNAP, take away from school lunches, take away from grants, take away all this stuff so they can save 2.6% in taxes. I'm a little tired, sorry about that. All of that for that. And this is where we at right now. We would rather save these people money who don't pay nothing already and take away from the people who really need it. Now, the thing is, America is starting to really look like Rome. It's starting to look like Rome. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go read about the Roman Empire. And everything that goes up like that, it always comes down. I don't wish that on our country, because I mean, this is my country as much as it's their country. Whoever think that it's not, but just because of the color of my skin. But this is my country too. You know why? Because this is where my roots are. This is where I'm from. This is where I was raised. This is the country that I learned to love. This is the country where I'm from. I don't want to see this happen to America, but I'm telling you, this is what's happening to America. Because of these people. Because of this Maga, which is not making America great again. It's making America rich and wealthy for the rich and wealthy people, and it's making it poor for the people at the bottom. It's turned into Rome. We have a dictator as a president. He wants to be a king. They worship him like a king. And they're treating people so unfairly in this country. And he likes to talk about treating unfairly, but what's unfair is this alligator Alcatraz. What's unfair is rich people taking from the poor people. What's unfair is our president playing golf every week, every couple of days on the taxpayer dollars. What's unfair is they constantly taking money from taxpayers, which is us, the middle class, the lower middle class, whoever. This is what's unfair. And the thing is, you take a place now in Florida, you make a place called Alligator Alcatraz. For some reason, it's given concentration camp. I don't know why, but it's given concentration camp. Then you got, what's her name, Nome or whatever her name is, come out talking about we should get rid of 65 million Americans and feed them to alligators. She didn't say it in those words, but that's what she said. And if you look at the charts, it's 65 million Hispanic people in America. So feed them to the alligators, alligator Alcatraz, and we'll be 65 million less people that we have to worry about. That's what she believes. But that's 65 million less workers. That's 65 million less people that can help. It makes no sense to just get rid of all these people. Now, some people in my comments saying, well, why do you care? Why do you care about, what's going on with the Hispanic community? It's not that. What it is that what I care about is what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. What I care about is that now they voted on a bill to give Trump the authority to deport American citizens. That's what I care about. Because after they take those Hispanic people, then they take the Haitian people, then they take the other people. Before you know it, they'll try to make America white America. It'll be white America. It won't be America as you know it no more. It'll be a whole nother America that you don't even recognize anymore. Because this is how these people move. This is what these people believe in. All they care is about wealth, and all they care about is money. Most of these people were born with a silver spoon. They were born rich. They're gonna die rich. Their kids are going to be born rich, going to die rich. Donald Trump was born rich, he's going to die rich. So we in this country of America, we're looking at, what we could do to take away from people. Not we, but this Republican Party, this MAGA movement. This is all of these slimy Republicans who said to their constituents and said to all of their voters what they're going to do and how they're going to cut the deficit. And they made it sound like it was about the deficit, about saving money and having a better America and bringing the cost of living down and bringing the food prices down and bringing the gas prices down. I went to the gas station yesterday. The gas prices ain't down. I know Donald Trump going around saying, oh, everything is down already. If you look, everything is not down. Everything is actually going up. The gas prices went up in my area. I live in Florida. Gas prices went up. And because I talked about living in Florida, I live in Florida with Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is the biggest snake in the forest. He's just as bad as Donald Trump. If I got to go with the next hateful person that I can find to Donald Trump, it's going to be Ron DeSantis. I know a lot of y'all don't live in Florida, but trust me when I tell you, Ron DeSantis is the worst person walking around in government besides Donald Trump. This is MAGA 2.0. Because at least Donald Trump, that's who he is. With Ron DeSantis, he wanted to be Donald Trump so bad that he sold his soul. J.D. Vance wanted to be Donald Trump so bad he sold his soul. These people don't have no spines. They're selling their souls. They're worshiping the devil. They're worshiping Trump. And by worshiping the devil, I mean they're worshiping Trump as their leader, as their savior. They believe that this man can get them into the kingdom. And that's the problem. So Alligator Alcatraz is looking like a concentration camp. The sad part is you got people in these cages. You got kids, you got pregnant women, you got mothers, you got people being separated from their parents, child. And this is my question. Once you put them in there, which you're not letting government officials get into Alligator Alcatraz, what happens next? What do you do once you get in there? Oh, I heard they can work hard and they can get back out here and be back out in society. How does that work? I heard that farmers get to pick which slaves they want to keep on the plantation. I'm not calling people slaves, but I'm telling you what I see happening. They get to pick the people that we call illegal people because they're farmers. The farmers are losing money. They get to go in and hand pick the people that they get to decide that can stay in America and they can vouch for them to stay in America, is what Donald Trump said. They get to vouch for the people that they choose. I'm seeing concentration camps. I'm seeing slavery happening. They're making America great again. They're making let's keep it real. He's making America great again for the rich, wealthy white people. That's who it's great again for. They want to go back to slavery. They want to go back to segregation. They want to go back to being able to control everybody and tell people what they can do with their own bodies, with their own selves. They want us to be property. If you're not white and you're not a rich white person, they want you to be property again. They don't want us to be people. That's what Make America Great Again stands for. It stands for make it when people were property and was considered to be cargo opposed to being actual human beings. So the rich white people can get richer and live in their rich homes with their rich yachts. And I see people in comments talking, well, you don't want to be wealthy. Everybody wants to be wealthy, but the reality is, if you ain't born wealthy at this point, your chance is a 20% chance. Not going to say you can't build wealth, but you got a 20% chance in this country. And when you black, that chance is a lot lower than that. So will I ever be wealthy in life? Probably not. And guess what? I'm okay with that because nobody needs that much money. It's greed. I'm not that greedy. I just need enough to pay my bills, take a couple trips in there, take care of my family, and I'm straight. I don't need all of this money. I don't need wealth. I just need to be straight. It gets real political. That's what we're talking about.